trice. Real name, no gimmicks.
Welcome to the SAE Podcast for the week of December 8th, 2013.
I'm Casper.
He's Casper.
He's Ennis.
Ah, yeah. So,
We got that right this time. For
I'm
the first
so glad.
time, we got it right.
we totally didn't. Anyway,
Okay, so 8th of December, we had the event happening last Thursday,
that is correct.
and it was a successful event.
Ooh,
People
That
came.
is also correct.
I yet again did not win the FIFA tournament,
It's
but
because you're not good.
I'm good. I'm not great, apparently, or unlucky, whatever.
No, you're just awful.
Okay, I'm awful. But we have another one coming up, so Ennis will
Uh,
tell me because I don't know.
Okay, December 19th, Christmas party, like the Halloween party, but Christmas. Easy to remember.
And for those who weren't here or haven't heard of the Halloween,
You should have been there. It's your fault.
okay, well, basically.
What were you doing? Staying at home?
We'll have a Christmas tree. We'll have Christmas music. We're arranging for Christmas films to be screened. We're also gonna have a dance floor with like decor and everything.
Why was dance floor in quotations?
Because
A
it's
dance floor.
because our dance floor is nothing more than a classroom
It's a
put
classroom,
together.
but when the music goes down and I step there, the boogies, they start to happen.
When Ennis steps in,
When I step
then
in.
it get all fudgy and fugly.
I want to dress up as 2 Chainz again, but I can't find a legitimate excuse.
What's
to
2
do so.
Chains?
You didn't see my costume?
That's 2 Chains.
That's 2 Chainz.
Okay, there you go.
2 Chainz.
What is he?
He's like a rapping sensation.
Right. So I suppose you're wearing his costume was pretty much a mockery.
He's fantastic. I love him. I love his work.
Well, if Ennis loves him, then he must be fantastic.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna quote that again.
Phantasmo. Anyway.
Yeah,
So, that's coming up
but
in 2 weeks, is
Yep.
it? Yeah.
in 2 weeks, so be there or be not there, but that's not advisable.
Be there or be square. Get your...
That's
Straight,
lame. That is lame.
No.
Okay, but today being the 8th of December, I'll just say that today marks a 33rd death anniversary of a very big person, personally for me and for the entertainment and media world, the music world. That's John Lennon, who was killed on the 8th of December, 1980. So, yes, you can hear the melody.
I'm playing my invisible violin.
So I was looking up a few things on YouTube based on that, and I suspect roughly like 2, 3, 4 months ago, a very cool documentary about the day that John Lennon died was made. Like people who he met on the same day were interviewed. The guy who took his last ever photo, which also involves the killer on the photo, is interviewed. So it's really a nice documentary. So we're just gonna have a very quick preview of what it looks like.
Switched on the radio and Imagine was playing. You know, it was like a knife through your heart. You knew it was true.
It was a shattering blow. Stunned. I just couldn't. I just saw him.
Total shock. Absolute shock.
I could not believe it. I mean, I was shocked, and then I'm saying to myself, who did this? And why anyone would hurt John? Then it struck me that I might have a picture of the killer.
So that is it. It's a long documentary. It's around 45 minutes. I mean, that's in terms of a documentary, it's not really long, but for those who don't care, it's long. But I advise you to watch it. It's not just that it's
For
just
those
John
who
Lennon
don't care,
thing.
why would they watch it?
Well, if they don't care, then they are terrible people. I mean, that's a big name. And then the founder of the Beatles, you know, founder of the whole give peace a chance thing going on, like President Nixon himself back in the day during the Nam War, he was pretty threatened by him. So he's a big culture figure.
I guess, yeah. We can't argue that. Still, Ringo's my favorite Beatle.
Oh, Ringo, right. Hey lads, I wrote me a song. Oh, fantastic. No, so those are the things going on for John Lennon. Just have a watch of the documentary as a tribute. If not, then it's just one thing that I would personally want to get off my chest and share it with everybody. You should watch it too. It's your home. It's your. You know, you're gonna go home today and you're gonna see a link.
I'm gonna
Which the
absolutely
link, by the
pretend
way,
to
the
watch
link
it.
will be in the description if you are eager to watch it. The link's in the description, so just
Is the whole thing like on YouTube or what?
yeah, the whole thing's on YouTube.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's
good.
uploaded on YouTube.
There you go. It's free. Now you have no excuse to
No
not watch
excuse,
it.
you have to
except
watch it.
for being lazy and you don't want to.
It's also educational. It's a bit of a general knowledge thing. You know, you want to know who Bob Dylan was. You want to know who John Lennon was. There you go. I just for a
That's
second
it.
didn't run. Elton John's there as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that. So it's a sad week anyway.
Yeah, on the
Paul
topic
Walker
of-
died as well.
Yeah, everybody dying. Nelson Mandela as well. Everyone's dying.
You know, I'm gonna sound awful. I thought Nelson Mandela died a while ago. I had no idea, and I'm not the only one because people are like, "Is Nelson Mandela dead?" I'm like, "Well, I think for a year now."
I only had the same idea about Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon. I thought he was dead for years until they said he died, and I'm like, I haven't seen him ever on TV once. I thought he died previously.
Like he was keeping a low profile.
You only ever see Buzz Aldrin. You don't ever see Armstrong.
Guess why? Because Buzz Aldrin was who stayed in back? Buzz Aldrin stayed back, right? No, Buzz Aldrin walked with Neil. And
Buzz Aldrin
who's the
was
third?
second. The third guy, no one knows the third guy.
Well, I forgot his name.
No one remembers the third person on
So
the moon.
uneducated
Bronze
right now.
medal landing on the moon. You're the worst.
That's
even though he went to space, landed on the moon, he did so much in his life. You suck.
So basically,
You're
he's
third.
the equivalent of Ringo Starr in the Beatles.
No, Ringo's the best.
Ringo is he piloted the whatever. So yeah, he died. Brian Griffin died.
Oh,
Everyone's dying. However,
for
for Family Guy fans, good news because just yesterday I was going completely viral about why is Brian Griffin dead, and apparently on the 15th of December, a new episode is airing called Christmas Guy, and they do not want to reveal how, but apparently on that episode Brian Griffin is coming back to the series. So petition power works. Petition for everything. Petition for Miley Cyrus to be shut down. It'll work.
exciting. Everyone loves, Brian Griffin and Family Guy.
He's a great person.
He's
Great
a great
dog
person.
humanoid or whatever.
He's totally real, yeah? Everyone cares so much. Anyway, can we not talk about
Okay,
cartoons anymore?
Okay, we're not going to talk about dead cartoons and people.
Not that I don't love cartoons. I actually love cartoons. Anyway, let's go on to movies because that's something tangible.
Hypocritical
I
human
actually love
being.
cartoons, but if a cartoon character dies, I'm not going to cry about it.
Okay, well, we'll
Especially
jump.
in a relevant cartoon show like Family Guy, which hasn't been good in like 10 years. Anyway.
Okay, we'll jump off to films then. If cartoons are the Family Guy's not gonna, we'll jump into films, which is a cartoon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What do you know?
That's right.
Well, we're gonna talk about Frozen, which is supposedly the next big thing by Disney. So if you wanna have a close look,
Jam that hype.
Frozen heartwarming thing.
Olaf, you're melting.
Some people are worth melting for. You're just maybe not right this second.
Come on, buddy, faster! No!
Olaf!
Hang in there, guys!
I can't feel my legs! I can't feel my legs! Those are my legs. Oh, hey, do me a favor, grab my butt. Oh, that feels better.
That was jeez, frightened me. So that was Frozen. Very, very chilling looking. It looks pretty. Disney Animation Studios, if I recall correctly, because he had said by the creators of Tangled, and Tangled was by Disney, not Pixar. Don't get confused; they're different.
No, actually, good you said that because for a second I was gonna just say, but
Pixar
it's a Pixar thing.
does do stuff for Disney, but Disney has their own animation studio. They've only I can't name many 3D animated movies. I think they've only done 2 or 3 so far. I think. Don't quote me on that, but they're fairly new to the 3D game. But they're so far so good. I liked Tangled.
I liked Tangled as well, and we've seen. I'll just hit off for a second. Have you seen Princess and the Frog?
No, I actually didn't watch it.
Okay, but can you just visually imagine what the
I
drawing
knew
difference
what
is,
it
right?
looked like.
Alright, so the look-alike of this versus Tangled versus Frozen right now. You see the difference of the drawing, that classic Disney drawing versus that slightly more computer animated?
It looks about. I don't know. I found that it looked almost exactly like Tangled. Like the faces, the
Yeah.
styles was almost identical. I thought they just reused assets. It seemed kind of.
No, but it looks good. It looks
It
heartwarming.
looks pretty. I'm gonna
looks,
watch it. It looks funny at least.
It looks funny as well. The story seems cool. It's not. It seems like a deep story. Like it has potential to go to make it a proper long Disney film.
I don't know, people were hyping it like, oh, it's the new Lion King. Now I'm concerned. When people hype things for me, I get concerned. Like the way they hyped Hunger Games. I'm gonna jump back to Hunger Games because I watched Catching Fire. Despite being critical, I didn't like it. Let's be clear on
He
this.
lied on the phone.
I said the acting performances were better, and they were. The actors got much better at portraying their emotion. Not Jennifer Lawrence. Never Jennifer Lawrence. But there was, and now I forgot his name, and I knew I would.
That guy?
That guy we
Yeah,
were talking about
I
before, name we forgot. 3-part name. Oh, it's gonna kill me when I remember it.
The ginger actor. The first movie I've seen him in was Scent of a Woman. He played one of the rich kids there.
It's gonna bother me. It's really gonna bother me. But anyway.
We'll put it on the tagline. We'll put it there.
He was in it, that guy, and I don't know. The performances were better. There was a lot more of Now I forgot the other guy's name too. It's not. It's
Came
not, it's
prepared.
not Martin Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
No. It's another old man.
And there's the
Who's
Don-
the president's? No,
yeah,
Donald Sutherland. There we go.
Sutherland.
He was in a lot more. Great actor. I don't know. Everyone did better at the roles. Like even Peter, who
Peter Bread.
I don't like him, but his performance was a bit better. I could tell that there were things going on that they were explaining to me at least, rather than like that confusing love triangle which they didn't explain in the first
But
movie.
Just going to the guy who plays Peter, I forgot what the actor's name is, but there was a photo of the three main characters. He is tiny.
He's a small. He's a boy man.
He is
I'm
a
not,
tiny man.
I'm not joking when I say he's a boy man, but I don't know. I don't like hating on people because I'm pretty sure they're nice people, but
No, he looks very nice. I mean, what else has
I
he got?
think
That's
he
the
did-
only choice he has left, right?
I
If he's
think
not
he did
nice
better.
and short, then you're pretty much you might as well be dead.
I think he did better in this role. They made it clear of like the pretend love story that they had to portray, and it got like political and it was interesting, and then the ending was so disappointing.
Don't spoil it, because I actually,
Oh my
after all this advertisement, I'm like,
God, I mean,
might
you're
watch
gonna
it
watch
myself.
it. You're gonna be like, oh, maybe they're getting interesting. It suffers from sequelitis. It suffers from this is a common plague among movies. You make one freestanding movie, and it on its own it's great. It has a story plot. It has conflict. It has resolution, and The Matrix is a good example of this.
So is Star Wars.
Star Wars is also another example, but you make that movie, it stands alone, it's great, and then you're like, oh, we made money. Let's make a trilogy now. For some reason, they don't say let's make another one, they say let's make a trilogy.
And basically, the part 2 and part 3 become linked movies,
Linked
whereas
movies.
the first part can stand as its own.
So the second one just trails off of the first one, and it has no defining conclusion. Cliffhanger ending. If you watched Matrix Reloaded,
Yeah, it's
the
pretty
ending is almost like
to
identical.
be continued.
It's almost identical to Catching
part
Fire.
3.
Close up of face lying down. I'm not even kidding. It was mirroring it. Even if you look at like classics like Star Wars, if you look at episode 5, sorry. It's the same. It doesn't have a defining ending. There's Han Solo and Carbonite. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched Star Wars.
If you haven't watched Star Wars by now, you're
You're a troglodyte. Anyway. But it's the same thing. All middle movies and trilogies suffer that, except like Lord of the Rings, which was written that way. So I suppose it's an exception. But you don't need to make a trilogy.
Yep.
I suppose for money.
money is always the case.
But on the topic of making trilogies, The Hobbit is our next trailer.
Oh, The Hobbit. I will have a very detailed rant about The Hobbit, but first,
a lot of positivity.
let's have a look at it first.
Was that an earthquake?
That, my lad, was a dragon.
Looking at the clock, because you saw a segment, I saw the whole trailer, and trust me, it felt like a lifetime.
See, we're gonna get slack for this, but neither of us really like The Hobbit. It's
Tolkien, as a writer, the whole book, the entire story of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, it's fantastic. Like
Yeah.
it's a masterpiece. And the first 3 Lord of the Rings films were great. Each book had a film, and then the least thick book, which was The Hobbit, is
Yeah.
getting a trilogy of its own, which I frankly do not understand.
I look, I'm all for when authors try to translate their books into movies and they don't want to skimp out on details. I get that, to the point where I said, okay, make a 2-part. I'm fine with that, maybe. Why a trilogy? Peter Jackson. I mean, it's for money. Let's be honest here. The first movie made over $1 billion.
Yeah,
And
fair enough.
The production costs of the entire trilogy, I think, were $585 million in total. So they've already made profit. They could literally make no money on the next 2 movies, and they've made profit.
No, but okay, let's just say money is a case. It's also a good book, so we can make a story. But what bothers me, I don't know if you've noticed this. Like, if you watch Lord of the Rings, you actually get a real movie feel out of it. Like, you'll see actors, it's a decent film, right, with a
Yeah.
decent story. Whereas when I'm watching the trailer of this, it's starting to look too much CGI, too animated,
CGI
too
and
overdone.
comedy.
Like, it's losing the entire concept that
Maybe
Peter
it's just-
Jackson developed in the
Maybe
first
it's
3
just
films.
too many dwarfs. Like in Lord of the Rings, there was one dwarf, and he was all the comic relief you need. Now it's just like
Now it's like, is this a
12
comedy
times
and
the comic
everything?
I would like the movie more if there wasn't 45 minutes of dwarves eating lunch.
They take their
I'm not
time.
even like, you didn't see it, did you?
The first one?
Yeah.
No.
The first hour of the movie was them eating dinner, and
Mm.
then cleaning up dinner, and then smoking after dinner and having dessert.
No.
I'm not joking. And then they sang while they did it.
Oh yeah.
Because why not?
No, I'm honestly too scared to watch it. Like,
Ah.
too scared in the sense that I will not like it and I'll just ruin the entire thing for me. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm just keeping it
I
as
mean,
a
I'm gonna have to see it, but
eventual one night when I'm bored
it looks
kind of situation.
I don't know. They're pretty, but that's about it. I wanted to like it, but nothing happened. In the first movie, nothing happened really. There was a bunch of beautiful set pieces and they were cool and actiony, but besides the scene with Gollum in the cave with Andy Serkis is fantastic, by the way. Besides that, there was nothing that was interesting. It was just there was no concrete story.
No, but just to concrete story. That's the thing. But for me, I'm still focusing on the visual. For me, Lord of the Rings set the bar so high. It looked.
I think
it
that's
looked
the problem.
convincing to me. It looked real. And when I'm watching the trailer here, I just don't see it. I see overdone.
Lord of the Rings
It's
set the bar
overdone. Like,
way too high, I think.
like
is
Lord
the
of the
problem.
Rings, it was the case of they could do it and they kind of should,
I
and they
feel
did
like
it. Now
Lord of
this
the
is
Rings-
this is a more of a marketing. There's not like I don't think there's enough effort put into it. The same effort as was put in Lord of the
They
Rings.
don't have to. It's all about money these days.
Because we can see the Hobbit. Hobbit was released when the first part, like a year ago, 2 years ago.
It was last year.
Last year, and they're already coming with the second part. Whereas the trilogy of Lord of the Rings actually took
Yeah, it
how
was
long?
a
Like
good-
7,
it was a
6
good
years.
span, yeah, it was a
Yeah, so
really
like
good
they
span.
actually put more heart into it. That's how I feel about it.
No, I don't know. Like, this is an age of Michael Bay is a successful director. Anything can happen, I suppose. Explosions, Ninja Turtles coming soon.
When Simon watches
Be
this, he'll give
excited.
he'll give us a wink.
Simon, we love you.
Okay, so but for those of you who want to be convinced otherwise, just go to the cinemas, watch. It's coming out this month in December.
It's coming out this week.
This week, boom, there you go.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm
this
gonna
month.
see it
I wasn't
anyway.
wrong.
So you'll see me sitting there curmudgeon complaining about lunch for 45 minutes.
So we encourage you to see that. It's coming out soon.
So let's jump into my favorite domain.
game
We're gonna go into a game segment here. And last night was a big thing in games. I don't know if a lot of people know. The VGX was last night. VGX, if you don't know,
Please.
was VGA's last year, the Video Game Awards.
And now there are
but
VG
there's
Extra Game Awards.
But like X is a lot cooler, so you gotta put it in there. VGX.
3 X's are cool.
So cool. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was following the winning. I think GTA 5 won Best Game of the Year.
No, shocker.
No,
It
it's
was,
actually I was surprised. I'll be honest with you.
well, what did you expect to top that?
I
to be
expected it to
honest?
be something like slightly more frou-frou-y, like Last of Us or something. A lot of people like Last of Us, and I played Last of Us. It was nice. I didn't think it was better than GTA. Like, I played both the games. I thought GTA...
No, but I think
for the production value they put into it, I thought it was...
No, but
far
I
better.
think GTA won it because of the amount of improvements they did with from the fourth
It was
one.
like a
It was like
5-year
an
production.
huge map,
It was
right?
a
Like-
massive difference, but...
So I suppose that's that, and plus it was so awaited by everybody. Like everybody
Absolutely.
waited for it for.
But I'm
for
still
a
I'm
good
still
3-4
surprised. I
years,
thought
so.
something like, because Naughty Dog, they won Best Studio of the Year, even though all they made was... I might be mistaken, but the only big title they made was Last of Us, and it didn't win. So maybe they did other things. Naughty Dog, I haven't really liked them since Jack and Daxter.
Is there such a thing as a silver medal in these, by the way?
No, this isn't the Olympics of games. We don't gamers don't do sporting things.
Right.
No, but I don't like, and I'm gonna get flack for this too. They're gonna say, "Oh, you're a fanboy. You don't like Sony stuff." I don't like Naughty Dog stuff. I don't like Uncharted. I think it's generic. I think it's pretty, and it has nice set pieces, and it's interesting, but it's so generic. I really don't like. I don't know if you played Uncharted at all.
No,
You
but
haven't?
I want to focus on your choice of words. Generic.
It's really not like it's so
not stupid anymore.
We're gonna do a generic count this time. If new drinking game, take a shot every time I say generic instead of stupid. If we talk about Xbox One again, no god. Anyway,
Or
it was
Wii.
so no. The problem with Uncharted is I could watch my friends play the game or play it with them and predict every part of the plot that's happening. And if it's a narrative-driven game like Uncharted is, it's all about like this advanced, like this story, and it's beautiful. If I can predict everything that's happening, what's the point? It's like going into Godfather and be like, I know what's gonna happen. I know who's gonna die. It's no fun. Because like the performances are.
Godfather they made a game out of it.
Ah yes.
Why would they do that?
Not so great.
That
Not
is like shooting
not so
yourself in the
great.
foot. Not only that, I know a lot of film buffs who actually can't stand watching all 3 parts together. Like they just can't. They just
The
It's physically impossible.
Third Godfather was not so.
And then they
splendid.
made a game out of it.
Not so splendid. Anyway, what else won? I need to complain about something. I saw Assassin's Creed 4.
Assassin's
won-
Creed.
It won something, and that's what upset me. Best adventure game, and the fact that it can win anything in this day and age. Because I played Assassin's. Let me get this straight, and this is because my boy Deji requested this. I'm a big fan of Assassin's Creed, like a lot of people are. It's a great franchise, and the way it started off was fantastic. Assassin's Creed 2 was one of the biggest, best sequels I've ever seen in a game. And then it started to trail off, and it was okay with the other games, Brotherhood and Revelation. Keep up with me here. And then it came to 3, and then it took a big muddy poop all over the franchise. It was just abysmal. Not so much as a game, but as part of that franchise, as what you're expecting. It's like Godfather 3, essentially. You go in expecting this beautiful masterpiece, and then it's just like a wet fish in your face.
I'll have a confession when it comes to Assassin's Creed. I've seen people play it. I've enjoyed watching people play it. I've never sat behind the steering wheel.
I mean, that's alright.
But no, I respect the game.
As far as the narrative went, it just... And then I said, Assassin's Creed 4 is coming out. Let me be optimistic. Let's try it. And then I did. I got 15 minutes into it. I'm like, there's no way they could possibly disappoint me more than they did Assassin's Creed 3. How much further can you get below the surface of the ocean?
They can.
They
can
dug the
dig
hole.
under,
They
yeah.
dug the hole so deep. I've never stopped playing a game before that quick. It's so disappointing. I'm going to avoid spoilers, even though there's nothing interesting to spoil, but I've never seen someone take a machete to their own franchise that quickly, and I don't know why they're doing it. I think because they can get away with it.
I think it's called overdoing as well. There's a limit of brilliance you can actually input into something. Once you're starting to just do it because you want to sell more titles,
I feel like
it'll just lose it. That's
it's
everything.
The same
that's
with
games,
the
that's films.
The sequelitis treatment. They had this great game, and then they're like, oh, it went well. Let's make more, but we don't have ideas. Let's just scrape the barrel. And then when they ran out, they're like,
and that just spoils the whole thing. I think. But that's how the world is driven today. That's how it is.
When in a world where you have
Michael Bay as a director,
or Jeff Cayley as a great.
Who is Jeff Cayley?
Jeff Cayley is the Archbishop of games journalism in our fine era by Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Cool.
That's what Jeff Cayley taught
We'll
me.
Google him.
Jeff Cayley.
We'll Google him right now.
Jeff Cayley. Anyway.
Jeff Cayley.
But Assassin's Creed, I feel like Ubisoft is just scraping the barrel. They just want more money out of this franchise. They do... I'm not going to give them too much crap because they do have promising games like Watch Dogs, which is original, something new. It looks interesting. It looks pretty. They delayed it a bit, which I'm fine with. Polish your stuff. Make it look good. But
Polish him. Poland's a good country.
Anyway, if they disappoint me with that, then I'll blame them for being French and terrible.
French are terrible.
That's gonna... Oh boy. I hope French people don't watch this.
Well, Polish people watch this.
Poland. But I don't know. I'm really disappointed with the way games are going this year. I can't think of exciting game. I'm actually excited for Walking Dead Season 2.
FIFA 14.
Oh, don't talk to me about sports games. Walking Dead Season 2 is coming out on the 17th. I'm actually really, really jazzed about that. Telltale also announced last night that they're doing a Game of Thrones game. They officially announced it. So that's 2 things I'm looking forward to. So I'll see how they go. Usually Telltale doesn't disappoint.
Hopefully.
I love how you went along with that, like you know who Telltale is.
Absolutely. Anyway, actually, I'll Google him right now.
That's enough for today.
That is enough for today? Okay. Let's get this right. How's Casper?
Yeah.
You got it right.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely.
He was Ennis. See you next time.
All right now, wasn't that fun? Let's try something else.